So you've done the self-help and you've dipped into some personal development, but now you ask the question, now what? What can you do? Well, if you want to escape the apathy, step right this way. So twice a year, I teach a course called Autonomy. It's a 12-week personal development and training course. What people get out of it is multifaceted. There's curriculum, there's exercises, there's camaraderie, you make new friends. There's a whole lot of interesting things. We're going to hear a sample from the course right now, and let's take a look at the value these students are getting. All right, so this is a good place to jump in. Welcome, everybody. Sunday QnA. It's season 7, week 5. You guys are talking about how to create a currency amongst yourselves. What might you do if the currency that everyone uses every day goes away? Because that might be a thing that happens over the next couple of years. Is there any evidence to that theme? Yeah, the central bank digital currencies. They're not going to be crypto. They're going to be sovereign digital currencies that they're looking to do. So the answer to the question is, what have people done in the past to avail themselves of freedom of to make themselves independent of a crashing economic situation? Are there use cases in the past where there's been hyperinflation and people say, you know what, let's just stop using that currency, create a currency amongst ourselves and trade using that? I don't know the answer to that question. It will be interesting if someone who's interested finds that answer. But I do know of a use case in the last 20 years of an American state that had some people in it that created their own currency. It was the state of Colorado, and the currency was called Mountain Hours. And they basically went around to the various businesses in the town, and they got them using this currency amongst each other. So you could go someplace, pay mountain hours to get food, or at a bar, or any of the other kind of businesses. And I don't know if that's still a thing or what happened to it or any of that type of history. But I did think it was interesting that, we do have other options. And there's a lot of rules tied to using Federal Reserve notes. And when you have another currency that you used amongst yourselves as a town, as a city, as a borough, whatever the kind of municipal situation is, that's an interesting concept. And when might that be really not novel but useful? Hyperinflation. And if you are dealing with some people and you have a stable currency amongst each other, it doesn't really matter too much what that other currency is doing that you're getting independent of. My grandparents' generation lived through the Great Depression here in America. And so it's not unforeseen in our history for things like that to happen every so many generations. And the way that the global economy is now tied together so intimately, as we've seen through the past 2 years of COVID, there's other logistical and supply line complications that our grandparents didn't have. And the other thing that we have to counter for is that 90% of people today live in cities, 10% are rural. In the Great Depression, 90% of people were rural, 10% lived in cities. So there are these dynamics, and we have to kind of look at the future to some extent that we're going to continue living into, and we have to make plans effectively for the future. And that's hard to do when first we don't understand what the money system is that they're rigging is, and we don't understand the money system that they're about to rig and put everyone else on is. And so it's good to be able to step back in these situations and apply our learning skills. What are the individual parts? What is a central bank digital currency? CDBC. What is that? Let's get a definition for that. Okay, great. That's where they're going. Now, where did we come from? Federal Reserve. What's that? Watch Aaron and Melissa Dykes' series, The Trust Game. You'll learn the whole history of money. It's very easy. It's dry a couple places, but all economic type things are. They do it on purpose, so we don't have enough interest to see how they're stacking the deck or, rigging the shell game on us.
Having the freedom to be in control of my time and my workload has always been really important to me. So I took Autonomy and I got some high value skills that'll let me work anywhere at any time. I got the skills that'll let me overcome the problems and challenges that come up in my day-to-day life. And I overcame my fear and my self-doubt, so I'm not procrastinating anymore. You can take your scarcity mindset and switch it out for an abundance mindset at getautonomy.info. Check it out today.